I had to feel all of the pain as I looked in the mirror and say to myself, Chris, you did this, and now you can fucking do something about it. Nobody else is coming to save you, and it's time for you to rise up. Welcome to episode 3 of the Dr. Chris Stepien Show, where it is my mission to help people who are suffering and the doctors, therapists, and healers who choose to do something about it. Today I want to talk to you about how having a mirror moment can transform your life. I've always known how practical and powerful mirrors can be for changing ourselves by looking into the window of our soul through our own eyeballs, but I never put the icing on the cake until I heard a dear friend of mine speak. I was at BK Live in early September 2023 when I heard Bryce Henson, the CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp franchise, speak. And he was talking about transforming trauma into a superpower. He started his whole speech with his childhood, how tough it was with his father, who was an alcoholic and he was violent, how him and his sisters and his mother escaped the abuse of his father. But then as he was an adolescent in his 20s, him and his sister really struggled with alcoholism. He was functional and he would get things done. He owned a few Fit Body Bootcamp franchises by then. And his sister was struggling with alcoholism. His sister was also running a Fit Body Bootcamp franchise with him. And at one of their parties for the gym, she showed up drunk. And this was not the first time. There have been multiple incidences where Bryce's sister was struggling with alcohol. Bryce had struggled over the years with, again, substances. And Bryce said that he went into the bathroom and looked at himself in the mirror. And he was asking himself, how long is his family going to struggle with this disease? And he realized that his sister was struggling with alcoholism, but he wasn't helping the situation, but it's because he was still drinking alcohol. And he said he saw darkness inside of his eyes. And what I perceived is that he was feeling all of the pain of himself, his family, his ancestors who struggled with alcoholism and trauma, because we know that people who reach for substances are usually reaching for substances because they have pain. And he said that he had made a decision looking at himself in the mirror and said, no more. It stops right now. And that was the last day when he looked in the mirror and had his moment that he decided to transform the rest of his life. And he hasn't touched alcohol since. And I believe he said that was 2016. So it's been 7 years or so. And he just spoke 2 or 3 weeks ago that I'm recording this right now, and he's been sober since then. What I realized is that Bryce had this mirror moment when he's looking at himself in the mirror, into his own eyes, looking into his own soul, and he's feeling all of this pain, and he's having this opportunity where he's able to elevate his frequency and make a decision. Decide comes from desisere in Latin, which means to cut off. You cut off everything else, everything in the past or everything that doesn't belong where you want it to be. You make a decision and a choice, and you say, this is how I'm continuing and how I'm moving on. Bryce made a decision that said, no more alcohol. I'm cutting myself off from that, and this is the way that I'm moving on. And he made a decision for the future of his family and everyone else that he's able to serve by making that decision inside of that mirror at that time. It's funny, I said inside of that mirror. Yes, the mirror can be a world. Joe Dispenza, the meditation teacher, talks a lot about quantum physics, and that when we want to change very fast, when we want to transform ourselves, it's very important that when we make that decision and that choice, we elevate our vibrational frequency as high as possibly can be, and then make that decision. If we just make a decision today that's like, I want to lose weight, or I want to stop smoking, and our emotions like this, we haven't really changed our frequency or energy. We need to bring a newfound energy to that decision or choice we want to make. And we can do that with the power of the mirror by having our mirror moment. I had a mirror moment early on the winter in 2022. And myself, my partner, Katie, and I had been recovering from mold. We were in a very poor financial situation. We had to redo our house for renovations for the mold, completely knocked out all of our savings. Katie had broken up with me and left me for a period of time. I wasn't being the best partner I could be, and I felt like something was off. And in a few months, summer of 2023, I would lose 6 of my staff, which in my mind, losing 2 doctors, 4 years of growth and development were flushed down the drain. So from the winter of 2023 through the summer of 2023, what I realized after hearing Bryce speak was that I was having multiple mirror moments, asking myself as I looked in the mirror, how long I was going to play the victim card, how long I was going to have these pity parties for myself where other people would ask me, Chris, how are you doing? I would say, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. I'm working so hard. This happened, that happened, blah, 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 blah. And I realized that there was this really sick part of my mind that wanted people to feel bad for me, and I would feel comfort. And that would push away any power I had in taking action. And I would just stay paralyzed for years to the point where 6 of my staff, 50% of the staff I had at Barefoot Rehab in Denville, New Jersey, would leave because I wasn't leading them, because I wasn't doing what I had to do in order to help them feel safe, help them feel cared for underneath this clinic. And looking at myself in the mirror on the brink of losing my family, my 2 sons, losing our house, losing our clinic, not having any money, I had to drop the victim mindset, the victim mentality, stop pitying myself, and realize that I was responsible for everything that was happening in my life. I had to feel all the pain as I looked in the mirror and say to myself, Chris, you did this, and now you can fucking do something about it. Nobody else is coming to save you, and it's time for you to rise up. And since I've been having multiple mirror moment after mirror moment after mirror moment after mirror moment, I'm happy to say that I've been sober for the past 3 or 4 months, and I'm working through all of my fears and all of my stresses and able to be present for my patients, where I'm working 6.5, 7-hour patient days and still function in a way that 2 or 3 years ago, I didn't think I had the ability to do this. And this all came because I looked in the mirror and realized that I can do this, and that people need me, my family needs me, my staff that's still at Barefoot Rehab needs me, the patients need me, the future doctors and therapists of adhesion release methods needs me. The mirror holds so much power for us seeing ourselves and us to stop giving excuses and to stop wiggling out from underneath the great finger of Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and the reality of the way things are, so that we can actually do something about it and change things. I imagine that you've already had multiple mirror moments. You've already had times where you looked in the mirror and said, enough, no more, this is not happening anymore. And you decide and you change things. Everything shifts after you do that. I'd like you to have one more mirror moment, at least one more. A time where you're going to create some space, maybe make it sacred, maybe make it a ritual, where maybe you're going to go out in nature and you're going to really be still and reflect. Or maybe you're going to watch your favorite inspirational movie that always moves you to tears, that makes you want to be your best possible self, that moves something inside of your chest, inside of your heart. And then you're going to go and you're going to light a candle in the bathroom with a mirror and look at yourself and allow yourself to feel the pain of the past mistakes you've made. And you're going to make a decision at an elevated vibrational frequency, and you're going to change things. And you're going to say no more to this past self. And you're going to say, this is who I am now. And you're going to commit to making those changes and that choice today and every day moving forward. Can you have one more mirror moment for who you believe you are deep inside of your heart and change things for yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends, and most importantly, for the people that you serve as a doctor, therapist, and healer who desperately need you? Because we need to show up at our best selves, because people are suffering and people are struggling. My call to action to you today is to respond to the comments with how your mirror moment goes and how things have changed and transformed for you. Share your win with me and with our Heal Team 6 community, our warrior healer community, because your win is my win and my win is your win, and together we can uplift each other. I love you very much.